Happy Friday, everybody. How are we? It's been a while. It's been a while since I've connected. That's what happens when you are in or being formless, and this is what my Substack post is all about today. I have also been a little unwell, sinus infection, life just pops up, and I am understanding more and more this shaping, reshaping, this continuously shaping, reshaping form. You think 1 minute you've got this form, and then next thing you are reshaping again, which is all around really surrendering to being formless. And that's not to say that you're always going to be formless or shapeless, but this ability to be able to surrender to it and not hold on and not control and not feel like you're efforting. And, I keep going on about, this need to think we have to keep up, with the outside world, when yet on the inside there's so much happening. And that's the bit where it honestly is the most important bit. If we start from the inside out, we are more present, we perform better, we're fulfilling our purpose, and yet we get caught up. And so, my formless cycle or my formless methodology, I created it for a reason, because it is my experience. And in terms of the learn stage, which was the original, it's not the original, it's step one, which is understanding or being aware of what's not working for you, what's going on in terms of those limiting beliefs, those behaviors, those patterns, etc. And then how do you subtract them and how do you release them to be able to then move into this formless place where you're letting go of your existing form, the existing shape, and having that ability to then reimagine and create what's possible. And I have been in this, I thought I was in Learn for quite some time, but I'm feeling like it's exciting. It's where my, creative juices are flowing. It's feeling less efforty and more effortless in this formless space, but it's taking a rhythm of its own. And I guess that's what I wanted to share with you today in my Substack post, because I'm all about shining your brightest and feeling and performing your best, which is the performance piece. But we need that presence, we need that purpose to be able to do so. And so by letting go of an existing form, whether that's in life, in leadership, or in the business, and I'll go into the practical details of it in my post for you today, so it's grounded, is then the ability to be able to shake off what doesn't serve you any longer, subtract it, to then be able to be clear and have the clarity and let the intuition come through to be able to then go, all right, what's possible and what's next. And so I have been in this creative space, in this unlearn, the step 2, which is the unlearn, the formless, doing lots of different things, and it's almost like 1 minute I think it's shaping one way, and then it's shaping again, and I'm like, okay, so then it's almost like, all right, so we need to explore this more. And so this is for me when you're getting closer to the shaping, or when you're almost, you're at your next form, your next shape. That's when you have this ability to access what is high flow, or what is flow state. And it's, I don't like using the word peak, but it's a performance. It's where you are, when you're completely, I shouldn't say I don't know, I do know, but it's like when you're completely immersed in something and you lose track of time, you lose track of anything going on around you, and it is just effortless. And I call it where you're shining your brightest and feeling and performing at your best. And so today's podcast is really about coming through the formless to then be able to access high flow, because when you are completely muddled, you have all these different things going on in your head, how can you access flow? How can you access high flow? How can you be shining your brightest and feeling and performing at your best when you're efforting? You simply can't. So, sharing this post with you today, and And I will then, I'm not going to promise I'll have my next week of the series out next week, but I'm going to aim to do so. This is about, this being okay with, the ability to just let things come out when they need to in the external. So hopefully this is, practical and also beneficial to you all. I'd love any feedback. If anyone wants to talk to me about themselves going through or feeling like they're being formless and, like, oh my gosh, where is this taking me, and how do I continue to be able to surrender to it? Happy to chat. It is taking you somewhere. You are going into your next iteration of who you are, evolution, evolving, growth. And, again, that's whether it's in life, leadership, or business. So have a wonderful day, evening, weekend, and talk to you soon.